What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Shuffle Squad channel. My name is Josh, and today I am bringing you a brand new deck profile on quite an old archetype that has been seeing some resurgence in the meta as of late, and that is Arceus Duraludon. But before we hop in, I do want to remind you of the Shuffle Squad's sponsors. We'd like to give a shout out to PTCGO Store, PokeX Word, Atlas TCG, and the Shuffle Squad Patreon. You can find all of the affiliate links down below. Using those codes will help us out and give you a better deal on everything Shuffle Squad, everything Pokemon TCG. Now let's just hop right into it. Now, on first glance, this is a pretty standard Arceus Duraludon build. Saget Brenner was able to pilot Arceus Duraludon to an 8-1 start at the Peoria, Illinois Regional Championships, utilizing Colress's Experiment, which is a very strong option for this deck, but I tend to prefer a more standard version of Arceus Duraludon, utilizing more tech supporters and more raw draw power in Professor's Research. But otherwise, we do have quite a few interesting choices in this deck. It's quite similar to the one that I was piloting at the Baltimore Regional Championships. We are playing a 4-2 Arceus VSTAR, a 2-3 Duraludon VMAX. Now, if you're not familiar with the deck, the reason that you play a 2-3 Duraludon VMAX is because of this bad boy right here. Single Strike Mustard reads you can only play this card when it is the last card in your hand, and if it is, search your deck for a Single Strike Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. If you search your deck in this way, draw 5 cards. Now that seems like a pretty difficult thing to pull off, but thanks to Arceus VSTAR's Starbirth ability, you are able to search your deck for cards like Ultra Ball, like Quick Ball, that allow you to discard cards very aggressively from your hand, getting down to those precise numbers you need to just get that Duraludon VMAX right onto your bench. Other interesting things, we are playing the Ordinary Rod. This is mostly a tech against things like Palkia, things like Mew, that are going to look to Echoing Horn, some of those low HP 2 prizers, as a way to bolster their damage, bolster their prize trade. Other things, we're playing 1 Bird Keeper. I believe that you need 3 switch cards in the deck. You could switch this out for a second switch or a second escape rope, but Bird Keeper is searchable with Pokégear, as well as giving you a supporter card for the turn. It makes it so that if you do get gusted or you do start with that Duraludon V, but you're able to get your Arceus V down turn 1, you can Starbirth for the Bird Keeper to get into your Arceus VSTAR and then pull off that attack while still drawing cards. Other interesting things of note, we are rocking with 1 Raihan. I think this card is absolutely incredible in this deck. It allows you to set up a Duraludon VMAX almost out of nowhere, only needing 1 energy under Duraludon V prior to using the Raihan in order to set up a full VMAX. It also gives you interesting options with Hyper Potion, allowing you to Raihan a basic energy to one of your Pokemon and then attach another basic energy on top of your attack requirement, and then you can use that Hyper Potion without debilitating your own ability to attack. Other things, we are going down from 2 Tool Jammer in a typical list in the last format to 1 Tool Jammer and 1 Choice Belt. The reason for this, Duraludon hits 220, Choice Belt hits 250, and Blissey V has 250 HP. So what you can do is, if your opponent is not playing Cape of Toughness or doesn't have one on their active Blissey, you can swing for 250 damage taking the KO. If they do have the Cape of Toughness, then you can go ahead and swing 250, and if they're unable to find a heal card, you can then promote a Pokemon with the Tool Jammer and take the knockout on those Blissey Vs. There's nothing else too special with the deck. We are playing 2 Avery, 3 Crystal Cave. You could play a Lost Vacuum in the deck. I think that's one of the cards from the new set that would be a good consideration in Arceus Duraludon, but the list is quite tight. So this is what we're rocking with, and we're just going to hop into some games. We are going to lose the coin flip, meaning we're probably going to go second, but that is not a huge deal. We do mulligan, but it looks like they are mulliganing as well. Let's see. What an incredible hand. Wow. We had to take 2 mulligans, but they did as well. Let's see what they are playing. It's Hisuian Zoroark, which can definitely be a challenge for us, but depending on if they're playing a way to get around Duraludon's ability, they may actually not be able to do any damage to us, which would be quite nice. They open Hisuian Zoroark, draw their card. Hisuian Zoroark is a very, very good card. It looks like they just pass though. Okay, let's think about how we want to do this. So we are definitely going to Ultra Ball 1 Metal Energy. And I think we're going to Ultra Ball the Crystal Cave as well. This leaves about as many options as we might possibly need next turn. We're going to go ahead and attach the double turbo and just Trinity Charge, putting all 3 energy on our Duraludon V. I assume that their hand is pretty clogged up with supporters, or maybe just like Pokemon that they're unable to play. But at the very least, they should be able to Void Return this turn. They do bench Radiant Hawlucha, makes sense, as we are playing a VMAX. Ultra Balling away Manaphy and Big Parasol to get to the Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. I wonder if they're going to use their Phantom Star. Nope, they are just going to use Research. They attach the double turbo energy, benching another Zoroark, but at the moment they don't have any damage counters down. Yep, they go ahead and grab the Gengar, probably implying that they're going to use the Phantom Star ability to at least get some stuff on the field here. It would be, wow, 2 Hisuian Zoroark V-Star hit the discard pile. That's quite bad. But if they can find a way to knock out our Arceus V here, we could be in a bit of trouble. We do have access to Duraludon VMAX already though, so even if they do happen to get that KO, we don't necessarily need the Starbirth ability here. We can just go ahead and attack with the Duraludon VMAX, but they are going to Ultra Ball, probably looking for another basic Pokemon to bench. They discard a Marnie and it looks like maybe a second Research. Oh no, it was a Gengar. They grab Crobat, bench that, use the Dark Asset ability to draw 3, putting down a Pokemon now having damage counters. So they can get up to 180 here without damage pump. They do find a damage pump though, so they are most likely going to be taking the knockout here. Yeah, definitely taking the knockout here. It's not too big of a deal though. We will be able to just Ultra Ball for the Duraludon VMAX, and then we just kind of have to hope that they don't have an answer to Duraludon VMAX. A lot of these Hisuian Zoroark decks just play for double turbo energy, and if that's the case here, then we should be just fine. And if not, they can one-shot us, so it could cause some problems. We're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball the Metal and the Boss's Orders, grabbing that Duraludon VMAX, putting it down, and then we will go ahead and Research. We could have kept the Boss's Orders, knocked out that Hisuian Zoroark V, but at this point, this game mostly comes down to whether or not they have answers to the Skyscraper ability. I'm trying to decide if I want to attach that double turbo. I think the answer is no. Do I want to bump the Gapejaw Bog? Yeah, we'll go ahead and play the Crystal Cave, bump in the Gapejaw Bog, and we will G-Max Pulverization. This is going to be a grindy game, that's for sure. See what they're able to do here. They do attach a double turbo to Hisuian Zoroark V. Bump our Crystal Cave. Ultra Ball. Probably getting another Zoroark V-Star. They do go ahead and grab that V-Star. Not a problem though. I mean, nothing that they're doing thus far is cause for concern. They have no way of hitting our Duraludon VMAX, which is really good for us. They might play basic Psychic Energy. They swing, don't do any damage. Now my question is, do I want to just take this out? They do just go ahead and scoop, so we will take down that game. We are going to win the coin flip, meaning that we will get to go first here. Let's see, we do start Arceus Energy. Our opponent does take a mulligan, great for us. This is quite a good hand. We have Arceus Energy, we have an out to Duraludon V. Can't really ask for too much more. Our opponent is playing some form of water deck. It's either Kyurem or Palkia, which is great. Both of those are playable matchups for us. Kyurem is a little bit awkward. They do open Palkia. So we are just going to hope that that is the iteration of the deck they're playing. We're going to go ahead and get rid of Marnie. If they are playing Palkia, they may try to fill their bench turn 1, and then Avery could be useful. Otherwise, we're likely to Professor's Research next turn, so I am just going to get rid of that. We do have a Duraludon V prized. We have an Arceus V Star prized. Okay. Oh, it's in our hand. Yeah, that's totally fine. All of our Ultra Balls are in deck. Let's see. Switch options. Our Switch and Rope are both in deck. Bird Keeper is in deck. One Boss's Orders is prized. Nothing too terrible. We have no energy prize, no metal energy, no fighting energy. So we're looking to be in quite a good spot here. Battle VIP Pass comes down. Such a good card. I guess we will find out if it is Kyurem or Palkia. Inteleon tends to mean, I would assume, that this is going to be the straight Palkia. That makes Avery look really, really good here. Assuming that they bench a 5th Pokemon. They don't. They also do miss an energy attachment. If I Avery, what are they likely to discard? Probably either Radiant Greninja or the second Sobble. I think we do go ahead and Avery here. We do hit the Arceus V-Star just off the rip, which is nice for us, because now we don't have to use our Ultra Ball for that. We can use our Ultra Ball to get our Duraludon VMAX. Let's see what they decide to discard. They do get rid of that Radiant Greninja. I am going to go ahead and Starbirth. We're definitely grabbing double turbo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can attach this next turn if need be. So technically I have the ability to single strike Mustard, but it is prized. Okay, so we can't single strike Mustard next turn. So then we are just going to... Let's grab a Boss's Orders. That way, should I like to, I can boss kill a Palkia V if it stays on the field. So we'll go ahead and attach the double turbo. Ultra Ball away 2 quick balls. I have nothing in my deck that I'm looking for. So we will just go ahead and do this and swing for 180 damage. This is pretty much the optimal start. Ideally, at some point in the game, we're going to be able to get down a second Duraludon VMAX, but as of right now, I think we're okay to just have these two. Have they been able to get a water energy in the discard? Nope, they just did start with the 2 VIP pass, which is quite a strong start, but nothing else. They're going to Evo Incense, likely to get a Drizzile here. Drizzile can get them Irida, which can get them basically anything they want from the deck. Likely a Capacious Bucket, maybe Palkia V-Star as well. I'm not sure if they would try to attack with their benched Palkia this turn, just so I can't take 2 prizes, but I don't think they mind losing the Palkia V. It gets them closer to a Roxanne turn, which can be a huge swing in this particular matchup. Irida does come down. Again, they have no water energy in their discard. They can get a second Drizzile if they want to. Unfortunately, they don't have an easy way to just discard water energy off the Irida anyway. They may have some sort of Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, something like that in their hand, but there's no way for them to grab both Capacious Bucket as well as a way to discard. They do Palkia V and grab the bucket. Now Bucket's going to grab him 2 water energy. So I'm assuming they have some way to utilize this. They do evolve the active, which is nice for us. Unless they have... Okay, they do evolve the benched Palkia, which can make things awkward here. They are going to be able to Scoop Up Net, put the second Drizzile down. They can probably grab an Ultra Ball here. They can discard both water energy if they would like to do that. Yep, they do go ahead and Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball probably searching out either a third Sobble, potentially another Palkia V. If another Palkia V comes down, I would be tempted to Boss's Orders it and knock it out with the Duraludon. They do use Zigzagoon here. They're going to go ahead and ping our active, but they're quite far from a knockout. Not so sure why they would necessarily do that as opposed to getting an extra Sobble, something like that. Maybe they just want an easy target. If I do find the Avery Subspace Swell, they're going to do about 160 damage. Sounds good to me. Now that's interesting. So they're doing 160. If I heal 120, I'll be down to 50. They'll only be up to 210. And I do have the Jammer, so I could go ahead and attach the double Turbo Energy and then play Research, looking for a Hyper Potion. And I think we are going to do that. Even if we don't find it, I can still take this knockout here. So yeah, that's all right. We'll go ahead and Trinity Nova. We do take the KO. Do I want to save energy for a second Duraludon? I think I want to save 1. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and attach 2 here. That's enough to get a Hyper Potion off. And we have a Fighting and a Metal in deck. Duraludon V, okay. We probably will bench that next turn, depending on what happens here. They do have quite a small hand. Put down the Training Court. That is just fine with me. And what I can do next turn is I can bench. They are going to just Subspace Swell, just taking the KO. So their hand is not too good. They are most definitely going to be looking to find another Palkia V next turn. We're going to go ahead and bench this. We are going to attach the Fighting Energy. I'm going to Ultra Ball, discarding Duraludon and Arceus. We're going to go ahead and fail that. We are going to Ordinary Rod, shuffling in an Arceus V and a Duraludon VMAX, and 2 Metal Energy. Now, do I want to bump the Stadium? I think so. I think we are just going to go ahead and bump the Stadium, and then we will research. We do find a Hyper Potion, which could be good for next turn. We also find Double Turbo, which if they do Boss's Orders the Duraludon V and I'm in a pinch, I can attach that and retreat. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and G-Max Pulverization, doing 220 damage. I can gear. I likely have somewhat easy access to Boss's Orders. I have 3 copies of it left in deck and only a 19 card deck. They do say well played. It looks like they have not found a second Palkia V. So it looks like we are going to take the win here. Yeah, that can happen sometimes against the Arceus Duraludon matchup. If they set up early, if they get the 2 strong Pokemon down that you can't KO, and they get a turn ahead on the prize trade, it can be quite difficult. Awesome. Well, that was Arceus Duraludon. Obviously a deck that has been popular for quite some time, but does still have some legs in this brand new Lost Origin format. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all on the next one.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
PokeXWord, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London. And then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar pricing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.